Please be seated. The record will show the presence of the jury, the defendant, and all counsel. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective, just one more question. You didn't, in your investigation, we'll call it on March of this year, did you investigate how this shelving unit would react to weight hitting one of the railings? I guess we'd call it dividers between the shelves.
Can you ask that again? I didn't hear the whole question.
Sure. Depending on what we want to term these here, the part that goes down, I was calling them railings, whatever you might call them, dividers, right? You see what I'm talking about?
I see what you're talking about.
Okay. You didn't do any assessment on how weight would react to touching that area, right?
No, I did not.
Okay. Thank you, Detective.
Sir, the area that's there in the corner, why did you concentrate in that area and not, for example, the part that's closest to the person taking the photograph?
That's the area where the defendant said she retrieved the gun, so I concentrated my measurements in that area.
I don't have any other questions.
It looks like there's some other questions in the jury basket, and I have some juror questions here. Counsel, please approach. right, Detective Flores, the jurors have some questions for you. To your knowledge, does anyone other than Jodi, was there any record of a gun registration under Travis's name?
No, there was not.
Would there have been any significance to measure all of the shelves since Jodi stated she only used the bottom to get to the very top shelf?
No, and that's why I focused my measurements just on that back row.
Were any of the shoes out of place when detectives arrived on the scene?
Nothing appeared out of place.
To your knowledge, did either of Travis's current roommates at the time own a gun?
No, they did not.
What would you say is the approximate width of the end shelf unit where Ms. Arias claims the gun was located?
The shelves themselves are approximately 36 to 38 inches long. They're about 16 inches in depth, and the shelf itself is about 3/4 of an inch thick.
Jodi testified that she helped Travis put some things in the attic. Did you find anything at all stored in the attic?
No, we found nothing.
Is the floor of the attic capable of supporting boxes?
There are beams in the attic, and you can put stuff on the beams, but the rest of it is drywall. So if it was a light object, I suppose you could put something there.
Could you tell if anything had ever been stored in the attic?
No, I can't.
Where is the opening to the attic located?
There's one in the closet area, in that area.
Do you know the weight, height, and shoe size of Ms. Arias at the time of her booking?
I don't recall exactly. I don't know her shoe size. But I believe she was about 5'5", 5'6", 115 to 125 pounds.
It appears from the March 5, 2013 photo that the metal pins holding the closet shelves are round for the entire length of the pin. Is that correct?
Yes, they're round.
Were there any signs of evidence found at Travis's house that he owned a gun?
None whatsoever.
When Travis's master closet was originally examined, were there any empty boxes or containers found on the top shelf that could have contained a gun?
No.
If Jodi were to stand with her arms pointing straight up into the air, do you know approximately what the distance would be from the ground to the tips of her fingers?
No, I do not.
Any other questions from the jury? Follow up, Mr. Martinez.
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Nurmi.
I want to ask you, you were asked a couple questions about registration of weapons, that sort of thing, right? In Arizona, is registration required?
No, it is not.
Okay. So somebody could own a gun, not have it registered, and it'd be completely legal, right?
Yes.
Okay. You were asked some questions about the shelving unit. And I know that you said that you were able to move all the shelves. None of them were secure, right?
They're all free-floating, so
Okay.
they're not secured.
And so when you picked up a shelf, or when you took it out of the area, you were able to replace it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if a shelf got dislodged, it could be just placed right back into the same spot, correct?
Yes, it can.
Okay. And you checked, you said the entrance to the attic, and you mentioned the closet, right? You
Yes,
said a closet.
I believe so.
I just want to make sure, are we referencing this closet or some other closet?
No, I believe it's in this closet. There's a couple of different openings. I believe one is in another bedroom as well, or out in the hallway. I'd have to look at the entire
Okay.
photos of
All
the...
right. You talked about the attic. Your report doesn't mention you checking the attic, so was it someone else who checked the attic?
Yeah, it was under my supervision.
Under your supervision, okay. So when you asked the question about your observations of the attic, whether you could tell something had been stored there or not, you said you couldn't tell, right?
Correct.
Okay. Is that based on observations you made or observations someone else made?
Observations somebody else made, and that I was told. It's a basic construction, similar to any other house in that area.
So again, you're testifying to your perceptions of what someone else told you as opposed to what you saw yourself, just like you did with Dr. Horn, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to go back to the jury room again. Please remember the admonition. We will be with you shortly.
Please stand for the jury.
The record will show the jury has left the courtroom. We are at recess. Counsel and chambers, please.